Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's Nat. I am in my new room. We've actually been here in this house for quite a while. I think it's coming up to 8 months. So it's lived in, it's good. But I thought today, because there's no one in the house, well, 2 sons are in the house, but they're in their rooms. You know, the husband is not here. That is the main point. So I finally got a chance to do a bit of a room tour. So this is my space as I pan around. It is smaller, but I actually have like 2.5 walls, which at the old house, that wasn't really the case. So if we start over here, these are all you're going to have my lights are going here. So hello. Can't still see. Here is all my pins from varying different places, including some very old ones from England. There's lots of England here actually, because we went over to England. And into these are sort of more of the newer ones up here. So we've got Holbrook, St. Paul's, a bit of Ireland, Paris, that sort of thing. Anywho. So that's that. So I had these 2x4 Kallax units on the ends here, they were old ones. They came from the old house. I did not use the cupboards. They actually ended up in the garage. So here is all my sort of business related stuff. So we won't go through that. Printer, of course, a little diamond painting. I'm sort of going to show you all of my inside everything, because that's what I like to see. And it's sort of getting a little bit grey and stormy, so hence the shadows are out a little bit more. But we're going with what we can go with. All in here are all my stamps. So we've got my paper rose, a lot of other bits and pieces, and other ones down in here. These still do not have labels, but this is sort of a mixed mash of things. It's got my camera bag in it, things I'm not too sure what I'm doing with still. Down here, this one has old containers that I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do. They may go, who knows. And here is all the extra bits and pieces for albums. So it's got, that's a little, no, I think it's die. It's a die, I forgot. Little bits and pieces. So there's lots of eyelets in here, stamp sets of pull up, down, all that sort of thing. Little latches, just lots of different Albany type of things. Some dies that you'd use with albums, some stamps. This is templates and other bits and pieces, so little envelopes, little frames that you can use, that sort of thing. Oh, stay. So in that one, in this bottom one is work related stuff, and same with that one. Oops, that one. While I'm down here, let's go this way. This has all my cross stitch patterns, although this great big thing here is actually an old kit for a quilt that I never got around to doing. I love it. I really want to do it, but this one here has more cross stitch patterns and the floss. Let's go up. This one here has all creative card packs that I used to do at the shop. So I've kept all those, and the same. I'm going to detour slightly. You're going to have to excuse the light, because I've got all the lights on and it's just suddenly gone really dark. This one here has material, including for patchwork and things like that. This one is more already made creative card kits. This one is projects, 3D projects. The sky is really rumbling. So the lighting isn't as great as my other place, but we're working with it and it's dark and I've just got to go with the flow. Whole heap of watercolor things. So cool box, which has actually got some water brushes in it and some other paint brushes. It's got Gamside Tambi. These are extra ones because you'll see my really nice ones later. Let's go this way. So we did projects. In here is both envelopes. So this is my C6 envelopes and this is like DL, square, that sort of stuff, and a little bit of bigger C6 in there. This is like all shaker mixed things. So these are little diamond dots that are left over. And then we've got just lots of different shaker, glitter, thicker glitter, seed beads, you know, all that sort of type of thing. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. It's going to get darker in this little corner. 12 by 12. This is all my extra because I do have too much of extras because the shop is closing, so we're going to move with that. That needs to be put away, clearly. Punches. These are all my flat punches. I've got some other punches elsewhere, but these are all like banners, labels, scallops, circles, a little bit more of those things that you use quite regularly. Let's go up. Stencils. So I have a little drying rack in here. This is pixie spray. There's also a different one down. It's black, so you can't really see it. This is stencil. You can make your own stencils. And this is lots of different stencils, all labelled by like lines or circles or alphas or Christmas shapes, that sort of thing. In the back there is a little scrubbing brush to scrub my stencils, which I don't do an awful lot with, but I do them. Cream foil bond, and the same for deco, like it stays tacky, so then you stencil it on and then you can put foil over the top of it and off you go. While we're here, dies. These two are both dies. Varying different ones. So this one is pretty much like my standard shapes, like ovals. There could be some scallops in there, frames, square frames, labels, that sort of thing. Words, alphas, borders. There's also some interactive ones back there. This two are basically sort of shapes, but there's also like things like full panels. My pixie dust is in here too. My pixie dust is all the way back in there. Christmas, that sort of thing. This one here is my old stamp blocks. I rarely use them. Do I need that many? No, I do not. Can I get rid of them? No, I cannot. This is a light box, just in its packaging. These are extra paper rose, like all occasions. I really like to paper rose all occasions, apparently. You know, all the different ones, so they're all the extras. A little bit of Tim Holtz ideology words. I never really use them. I don't know why I've got them. And there's miscellaneous ones back there as well. This one is Tim Holtz word stickers. So these are the packs that you can buy. Pens. So this is like brush markers, calligraphy, masking. There's some Sharpies in there, that sort of thing. And then we get to my drawers. This drawer is all my tapes and glue dots. There is a little bit of foam because in this drawer, it's better, but it's getting a little bit It was getting a little bit full, so these can probably go over to here now, and hopefully they don't slide down the back. But anywho, so this is all glue dots, wide tape, mint tape, tape runners, that sort of thing. And this is all moulds and a little bit of clay. These are a couple of things that I've already done. There is a little bit of tape, which honestly probably drop down. Moulds, lots of moulds. A little lighter because, you know, you don't know. This one is extra tools. Let's stand there, maybe you can see it better. Extra tools, because I had my big map drawers that had lots of tools and a few extra bits and pieces. I have culled, I swear, I promise, I have culled. So we've got the crocodile, we've got the like corner crocodile sort of thing. We've got the eyelets, extra rulers, other hole punch things, all sorts of bits and pieces in there. Metallic foil cardstock. So we don't need to go in there. So all the cut stuff I've already cut up is on the top here, so I can use that hopefully first. And then at the bottom there is lots of yummy goodies, including some that I probably should donate. Holographic included in there. This one is sort of things that I'm going to sell off, or things that I'm going to give to my mum. Yes, Mum, I know you watch. In here is mini inks. So this is mostly some Hero Arts and Altenew, and I just store them in the Tim Holtz containers, nice and easy. In here we've got Memento, and there's a few other bits and Hero Arts ones, like the neons back there, that sort of thing. Can you see back there? And distress inks. Versaclear. I really don't know how to store those any better, so they're just like that. They move around, but I don't care. Oxides. And we did that one. This is another one that needs to be culled. This is all my large stamp sets. So my bigger Altenew is in here. Tracy Hay, that sort of thing. And also long ones like that. This part I really love. Now, in Australia, I am yet to see IKEA have these. I'm trying to have better. You'll get to see IKEA with these wine bottles. I actually got these from Bunnings, and these are from, did I get them? I think I got them in Kmart or Big W. And they have a couple of different sizes, so I just measured up, and it was a bit hit and miss, but we got there in the end. So in here is basically bling and a few other bits and pieces, but little extra things. Saying that, we've got the big brushes. We've got blending brushes for oxides. We've got blending brushes for distress, like dye inks, including the itty bitty ones and the larger ones. We've got pouncers and small pouncers, you know, those sort of things. Extra blending brushes that have not been used, and a foam stamping block that I've had for probably 20 odd years. A long time. Extra blending tools. This has got enamel. So we've got some Ranger, we've got some liquid pearls. Are they Ranger? No, I don't think they are. But someone else that did that. And we've also got these effect liners, which I really like. stickles, on my extra stickles, and I did that one. Moving to our left, we've got sequins, more sequins. Most of this is sort of the extra ones with a little bit of other ones. Clear crystals, because I have a problem. I'm just saying, I've got a problem. Bling. Pearls, and I don't know what to do. I haven't decided what I'm doing with this because I want that up against there, but I don't want it to be seen. So I'm thinking I'm going to put some sticky tape down the side, but I never get around to doing it. So, pearls. Lots of different pearls. So uniquely old K's of Craft ones back there, that sort of stuff. Confetti. Confetti is like sequins, but it doesn't have the holes in the middle. Like you can see it probably better with that one. Extra glow in the dark, and also stardusticles. Yeah, I have a problem. I may have grabbed some when the shop was going out. Okay, I may have done that, and then I didn't realize how many I had. Okay. Extra blending foam. Now really, extra blending brushes should be down here, but that may move around. I don't know, that may move around. The lighting position is not great. Paper stumps, as well as some extra pencils, which, while I realise I've got extra pencils in here, so we'll put extra pencils in there so they're all together, because that would be logical. Charms. So again, album-y type of things, but all charms. Pins and some salt, because we all need salt. So pins just for albums and things like that. It could go over there, but I had this room, so let's just use it. The middle, I will say, sidestep for a second. The middle one of this, of each one of these, they are a little bit tighter, but it still works, so I don't care. Eyes. The eyes have it. Magnets, lots of different ones. Bigger ones, strips, lots of things. The old stamps by Judith, because I can't get rid of them. Letters. So this could be big mother of all letters, or could be brads. I think there's more brads back there, but different letters. Other brads. And I've coloured those because I don't actually use a lot of coloured ones. This is odds and sods. So we've got a fence, we've got little pom-poms, we've got little snowflakes. So yeah, and then last is buttons, what's left of my buttons. Going over here is some little bits and pieces, including a tiny little money spider, so excuse him. Don't look if you have issues with spiders, sorry. But he's been roaming around here for a while. So we have, these are all pens and papers. This boxes in here, even though this one is lost, are all stamped images that I've had previously. So yeah, these are all ones that it's already been either printed out, that are digital images, like maybe some of the RAM, that sort of thing. And then we've got sort of swatches, but honestly, I don't really go into these last ones. Card that I was given, a photo frame that we were given for our 25th wedding anniversary that I haven't put a photo in yet. Up the top here are cards and bits and pieces either I've made, like this one, and this one. The rest, including all the other ones up there, are all been given to me. In here is everything letterpress. embossing folders. These are all cards. These are all just tags, like this sort of thing. Then we've got small pieces of Tyvek. We've got gold leaf and glitter. So you'll see there, lots of gold leaf. There's glitter. Gel plates, gel press. So they're all my it's too hard to open up these. This is mica powder. Then we've got some extra notebooks, which is quite heavy, but I'm trying to get one. These are either notebooks that I've used. Haven't used yet. People have given it to me for, I think that last one was Christmas or birthday, I can't remember. But my mum. Pencils. A little bit of pencils and that sort of stuff. Not an awful lot, because mostly I remove all my pencils out of it. It's really rumbling now. Die cutting machine, a card that I made. These are either like construction sketches, my sewing kit, thicker cardboard for albums, Copic books in here, my art journal, swatches, colour charts, sewing applique, sort of like your patchwork, art journal books, and little bits and pieces like that. In here is all card bases. I won't pull it out because it's super heavy and it's just cardstock. Different glues, including extra die cutting things. So if I need the longer plate for whatever reason with, sometimes for the older embossing folders, I need the extra plate. So that's in there too. And different glues. Xyron and some ink. And also my, what's it called? This thing, Zutta. This has all my alcohol inks and re-inkers. My alcohol inks are mostly in these containers, although there's some Ranger ones in here. And then I've got, the alcohol, distress inks, refills, oxides, and there's some more underneath that. Cutter. I need to tell you that. Or my cardstock. My coloured cardstock, I should say. Including all my greys and browns, which is what I use mostly. So really that should be up here, but I had to go in rainbow order and I couldn't help it. Could not help it. Over here we have all pencils and things like zigs. What else we got? Uniquely creative versions of zigs, Inktense pencils, Echo lines, which there is more over here. More Echo lines, Hazel Craft pencils, which I'll probably get rid of, but we'll see. Distress and Prisma. This is kits that I haven't yet used, so I've played around with them, but I want to play with it more and kill the kit. So it's sitting out. My case, it goes away with me. My photo area. This top drawer has Copics and my acrylic markers and some little Copic charts, things like that. And that's a light for when I need to have more light front on, or on days like today. This area is fine. It's just the light has gone. Usually the light's coming through nicely at this time of the day, but yeah. Refills, old light, clean and press and seal I should say. like parchment paper. It took me a little while to figure it out. This is like the transfer for the, like when you put labels and with your vinyl and all that sort of stuff. It didn't really go anywhere else, so it went in here. And then the last drawer has bits and pieces, so it has all my, what I used to store, an extra little stand, a laminator, notepad that I didn't really know where else to put it. There's another cutter underneath there. It's probably a bit dark. You can just sort of see the cutter. Extra printing things for this. My work table. This is just, that's an old chair. I think it's an IKEA chair. Let's do underneath here because we're already down here. So this is where I hide my computer. That's just a book that has everything that I do. I write it down, and that's just my diary for work. In the top drawer has a little bit of sweets, my glue, just tools. Back in underneath here is stickles, but it also has a little bit embellishments that I use all the time. A little brush extra to fill up my little container. Next drawer has, I can't open this, I don't think. I'm not going to open that because I have a funny feeling there's something in there I can't show you yet. But this is in progress, but this also has other stamp sets of either lightly used or, honestly, it's a bit of a dumping ground. These are new things that I haven't yet played with. Yeah, a lot, but they're all being released, so you can see that, I think. Yes, this is all stuff that you've seen. Is released, I should say. In here it has something that doesn't. Water, Copic, charts, that sort of thing. And then there is one die back here. This is the only problem with this. There is actually a die back there, which I can't really quite get to, but I have actually used it, so I should pull it out. This, let's move this out of the way. That's where I charge all my batteries. Watercolour. So my Altenew watercolours. I've got my Gamsite Hamby. These are actually the older ones that I had started using. The other ones I swapped all the pans over, and so everything's in here. And the older ones, or the newer ones I should say, sorry, my finger's in the way, are in the older containers. Brushes, this is, what are they called? Arteza. I won that, some watercolour and that sort of stuff. And there is some little, like, it's liquid. It's like mica powder in liquid sort of thing, but it's very, very old. So hanging up on the side here is my tape, my big roll of tape, and obviously my ruler. Up here there's another book right down the back there that has pencils, charts in it, my scoreboard, and my, what's it called? Gina Wakely's got one, but this is an Australian one. Going down the bottom, we have little blending tools. We have like silicone mats and things like that. These are the same sort of things as those sprays, so they should come over here. But so titanium white paint, some Hero Arts liquid watercolor, which should go over there. Oh dear. Gouache, and acrylic ink. So it'll be wise to sort of bring that one over here, but you know, I forgot it was there. My microphone. These are a couple of sentiment stamp sets that I use a fair bit. These are a whole heap of pre-cut ones. This could be that I've cut. The sky's really rumbling now. I've cut them up already. I had the uniquely creative essential die and a couple of sheets, so I cut that up and then I moved it on because I wasn't using a lot of that. So then we've got some old paper rose porcelains, including in here, I think is, yes, the Tailored Expression simple strips and a couple of sentiments from long ago. So that gets tucked back down in there. And it does quite well. And this one stays the same because this is just all my cardstock. So this is pre-cut card fronts. This is all my card bases. And in here, this is all my Copic cardstock already cut up. And in the front here is watercolor, a little bit of watercolor. Back there, you've got alcohol swabs, cardstock from Stamping Up, all my old cardstock, including another one. There goes my phone, for distress inks. And that's not all the whole colours. I just never did it again. And back there is some slimline. This is all my cutters, but there's also some pens back here. So we've got like extra white gel pens. There's the glaze pens, Stampin' markers, scissors, and my cutter. In here is my Misties normally live here. Scoreboard, some of my go-to inks, a card that my son doesn't watch me, so it's going to be his birthday card. And my eldest, not my middle child, who's, I don't know, I don't think he'll watch it. These are all measurements that I use very often. And then we've got Eclipse and another sharpener and a metal magnetic tray, so all dies. If I'm using a lot of dies, I can shove that in there. And some full stick, which I think I need to go have a look over there and see if I've got some more of those. On top of my desk is not much, I suppose. Down the very back here, yeah, it's going to keep going off. My aunt made me this, a friend made me this. This came back from Zurich. Another friend made me this and other little bits and pieces. So I've got some 2 acrylic drawers, and we've got anti-static pads and things like that in one. The trays for embellishments, a little tiny bit of foam. I think I just put that in there for just see what happens. Mini foam dots, regular foam dots, and then the bottom in here is black foam dots. That's a bit of hand cream. Gold, white, clear embossing powder, erasers, including the sand erasers and the adhesive erasers. A little bit of washing tape and mint, and Copic nibs and the tweezers. This is a little box I made. It's in my channel, and this is one of the latest. I think it was this. It's towards the end of February now, so this was the beginning of February. So I can show you. Wet Ones doesn't need an explanation. This has, you've probably already seen that card being released. I'm so sorry about my phone. Okay, so this is sentiment packs and some dies, square rectangle dies that I use often. These are the ones that I currently have open compared to the ones over there that have not been opened yet. Sentiment die from Paper Rose, and I don't know, some other little bits and pieces in that top drawer. This one has my sticky mat and some cardstock with, that's just something that shouldn't really be in there, but it's another sheet of embossing. The embossed die cuts, just a stack of cards that I've made or I'm about to get rid of. My little speaker and just my light setup and everything like that. So, lucky last thing, thank you for putting up with me for all this time. Lucky last thing is over here. This is my brother's scan and cut, my silhouette, and I've got two big, these both came from the old house. You can tell one is slightly older than the other one, but I don't care. Mixed media things, so embossing paste, heavy body gel, clear embossing paste, shimmer embossing paste, multi-matte medium, you name it, it's here. Pearl papers, and a little bit of, we've got the glittery Moonlight Pearl, because I kept that, and I kept this one because it's stunning. Because I can colour it, and this one is just plain love. This one is a little bit more mixed media. So it has some brushes. It has the brow. There is spatulas, things like that. Masking fluid, a little bit of Tim Holtz class from many moons ago. Crayons, that sort of thing. Anything mixed media-ish. This one has, obviously, Officeworks, so boring, aprons and some waxes, including some Foundry wax from Distress. I left it all in there because it's just waxy. Ribbon. This is all my ribbon. This is it. This is all. I got rid of a lot. Then I did find I needed some red twine, so a friend of mine gave me some red twine, and then I managed to come across some, let's go that way. Is that better? That's better. I came across this twine at like a cheap shop, including this one and this one. I thought they were ones that I will use. Why I got rid of my other ones, I don't know, especially red. It's silly. Flowers. These are the only flowers I've got left, which are white. These are all my embossing powders, beauty, things like that. Different, you know how Versa Mark had the Dazzle, champagne and all that sort of stuff. So different embossing powders, and that's just got baby wipes, extra older baby wipes. My paints. I had a, what I call an ironing board cupboard from my grandmother had one and my dad made another one. I did not want to put it on the wall here because as kids move out, I will go into another bedroom over there and this will become, I don't know, a TV room or something like that. So all my paints got put into here because they're not something I use very often. So they're all in there. Tissue paper and a little bit of stones. So, and a very old book from my childhood that I can't bear to get rid of. And in here is what's left of my other punches. So these are shapes. So this could be butterflies, Santa helmet, Santa hat, flowers, snowman, all this sort of stuff. Elephant, all different shapes. Over in here, while we're here, this has all my big rolls of Tyvek, which is up the back here. and wrapping paper. And my cutting mats are just in here. Super hard to see, but they are there, but trust me. These are my Big Sty and my Delusions sprays and a couple of large stamp sets, die sets that don't really fit in, and my little collection of minions. This is all business related, like old diaries and things. Heat press and the mat and the other mat that goes with it. Let's stand up. Machines. So this has got my letterpress and my foil machine down there, and a little fuse tool in here. All my vinyls. Okay, so I said my transfer is over there. I lied, apparently, clearly. That must be, it's not contact, but it's like a masking thing, I think, if I remember correctly. Foils. So we had vinyls in the other ones. These are all foils, foilable little sentiments. I don't do a lot with foils, I should. So these are punch boards, book binding. That's my bundle journal, and a little mat that I put in between. Sticky mats, other platforms from Stampin' Up. Old Misty in there. That one I don't particularly like. It's rubbish. And then lucky last is Cricut tools, vinyl things, and lights. So things that I would use for the machines. So that is it. It doesn't take quite as long as my old place to go through, I don't think. But these are the little bits and pieces. Okay, so this minion is he's ugly. He's ugly. But my niece had to get him because he was so ugly. He was adorable. Can you see him? He's really hard to see. Let's take this off. So he's a bit ugly. He's a bit ugly, but anyway. My son brought me the key back from Queensland, I think it was. So he did that. And then I have a little, that was my Christmas present from a friend of mine, and a little sloth hanging there. So that is it for my tour today. Outside is getting more and more yuck by the minute. I hope you enjoyed. I didn't, clearly sewing machine. Down the back here, I did forget to do as well, is magnetic light board. There is a couple of frames that I haven't figured out what I'm doing still, and some other cardstock. And I think there is also some, there's another glass board. I keep thinking it's an old company that's no longer around. And also the white box is my splatter box. So yeah, that is it. The other things up the top here, little smelly thing, little book thing that I made. So they have little storage. But I don't use it very often. I made that years ago. And then we spoke about that. So yeah, so that is it. Thank you for joining me today. I do apologize again for the lighting, but when the husband is gone off to work, we sort of go with the flow and do it. Down along the bottom here, there's a drying rack right at the very end, which I never use, and these are 25 years old, so they're old. Wedding, good luck, wish you luck sort of stuff. So yeah, so that is my craft room. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more of what I'm up to and what I'm doing. And I will talk to you very, very soon. Take care. Bye.